All right. Give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Can you feel it in your body? Shake your stinking ass. Can you feel it in your body? Shake your stinking ass. No?
No.
Redman.
Like I almost had it, and then I didn't have it.
It was Redman.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something close. All right. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Nerds, you bullying host Leroy, aka Krem of the Yellow Heels, with my co-host.
Okay, taser face.
It's metaphorical.
This is Eli, aka Sloppy Joe Yowza.
Oh, we just got banned. You can't. People might think that's taken for the wrong context. Yeah, we'll also want to give a shout out to our co-host, the AI, the Doombot, always here for us. So,
all hail the Doombots.
All hail the Doombot. So yeah, like I said, we got a new episode. We're gonna come out with. We're just gonna jump into it. We're gonna get right into it. No preliminaries, no foreplay, no dilly dallying. None of the stuff we normally do.
None of the hullabaloo.
None of that. We're just gonna get right into it because we're here to talk about Supergirl. We want to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the character, the controversy, the comments, all that. Is the movie worth the time? Movie not worth the time? You got two opinions on it because guess what? Both of us saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us know what either going to say on it. So we're going to find out here right now. We're going to go to it. But before we get to it, Eli, you sent me something. I want to talk about that first. We're going to talk about set me up for this. Swerve Strickland.
Oh, Swerve Strickland. Yes, I watched AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I just got done watching it not too long ago. Swerve Strickland, he's an AEW wrestler. He came out looking like Lobo. Yeah, he's on a motorcycle. He had a cigar. He had the jacket and the chains, and even that hook. He even had the hook.
Right.
And he
came out looking like the main man.
And he wrestled Will Osprey, who came out looking like Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
See if I can find that.
Yeah, there's Will Osprey.
Like Blue Beetle.
But he's wearing the Bane mask, that Bane mask,
I guess. Okay. I'll go with it. Okay.
But no, Swerve has always been like coming out dressing like in superhero like gear. He came out looking like he came out in Green Lantern not too long ago. Came out like Mr. Terrific, Candyman.
Notice they're all DC heroes that all these guys dress up as.
Oh yeah, and AEW has had a deal with DC. They had the AEW DC crossover comic book.
Warner Brothers on them.
Yeah, they're on Max. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay, so Warner Brothers on them, Warner Brothers on DC. So it's basically cross promotion. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, shoot, get it how you live. So
yeah, but Swerve is always coming out in geeky cosplay. So Chuck. No, not Chuck. Candyman. He came out in Candyman one time.
Candyman. Okay, cool.
How many times did you say it?
All right. So then we say move on to the next part of the podcast. Unless you want to add something else to it, or
it was a dope ass pay-per-view. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
Also, shout out to EVO. EVO is on right now, but I didn't get a chance to look at it, see what's going on. I normally take off for that week and just talk just about EVO, but didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm like, damn. So, oh well, it is what it is. All right. So now we're gonna talk about Supergirl, but we're gonna do a little lore dive because like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies. So what we normally do before we just jump into a movie that's based on a comic book, we talk about the comic book character. So I feel like we should at least address Supergirl, talk about what Supergirl is. Oh no, you know what? We got something else to remember before we do that. I'm jumping the gun. We're gonna bring back your classic.
The classic.
You know what it is, Eli. You know what it is.
The greatest hits.
The box office numbers. All right. So I want you to give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week?
I doubt it. Is it not Supergirl?
It is not. No franchise superhero movie of 2026 has made it so far. Can you guess what is? What did make it?
I don't know what town is it.
I'll show you.
I really don't know.
No problem. It is.
It ain't the Minions, is it? Oh, well, Toy Story is a franchise, not a superhero franchise, but
Superhero franchise is a franchise. Fifth movie in the franchise, been going on forever. So yeah, I give you that. At 70 million right now. Of course, people are saying like, "Ooh, Supergirl didn't beat Toy Story." Supergirl never had a chance against Toy Story. It's Toy Story. It's already this, and this is the second week it's in right now. Right now, it's at like $500 million. So Toy Story is going to be one of those movies. It's Disney. If nothing else, Disney can crank out these type movies and they'll be fine. It don't matter what else they do. They crank out these type movies like Moana with The Rock right around the corner. Billion, easy. So that's what it is right now.
no, Jackass is out. Yeah.
I thought Jackass was going to do a little bit better than that. Honestly, people were thinking that Jackass was going to beat Supergirl too.
I saw someone saying it's just like Barbenheimer, it should have been Super Ass.
Super Ass. I heard that too. They did it. Both of them would have made more money. So yeah. All right. There. Just want to pop that off right there. So now we can talk about Supergirl. But before we talk about the Supergirl movie, talk about the Supergirl character. Like I said, we're gonna do some lore dive. We're gonna deep dive into who is Supergirl. Because the thing is about Supergirl, we all know Supergirl, but we don't know Supergirl. If that makes any sense. She's the cousin that everybody kind of know about. Like, oh yeah, that's such and such cousin. So she's kind of like in the background, stuff like that. So let me see if I got some stuff right here. So yeah, so talk about it like this. The first appearance, she was in Action Comics. I guess 252. Maybe off the top of my head. Superman's cousin. Blah blah blah. From the planet. Can't hear. That's it. She was so popular that they gave her own comic book, of course, because back then people don't understand how popular Superman was in the 60s and 70s. It was pretty much Superman like kept the comic book industry alive by himself. So any character he had a comic of their own. They all outsold everybody. Supergirl had a comic. Superboy had a comic. Lois Lane had a comic. Jimmy Olsen had a comic. And all that shit sold. It was like top of the list. Jimmy Olsen's comic was so crazy. That's where Darkseid and the New Gods debuted. Like shit was crazy. So yeah. We know about the movie. In the 80s.
I saw that in the theater back in the day.
Did you? Okay. Yes. Like I said, so we talk about Superman being the first superhero movie, like the action hero movie. Supergirl was the first female superhero movie. And I'll be honest with you, Eli, I think this is one of the top 5, maybe top 3 worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking bad, man. It's terrible. It's not even a real movie. Like you really got to watch it again. You can be like, nothing in this thing makes sense. So yeah. If you want to see something better with that actress in it, of course, we all know the better movie, Legend of Billie Jean.
Oh, damn, you talking about
Don't act like you didn't see this, Eli.
A better superhero movie?
Fair is fair. Yeah.
Fair. God damn, yeah.
I watched it the other day on Tubi. That's why
That's been a while.
It's been a while.
Talk about all the 80s nostalgia. That's one I never went back to.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, another fun fact on them, not lore dive on Legend of Billie Jean. Okay, like I said, the actress name is Helen Slater. She was the first Supergirl. In the movie, Christian Slater played her brother.
That's right.
They're not related.
Really?
No, they're not related.
Okay. Well, I just learned something.
I don't know why I went down a deep door lab on Legend of Billie Jean, but I decided to do that. Anyway, back to Supergirl. Okay, so she died in 1986. Crisis of Infinite Earth. She was one of the major deaths. They killed off her, killed off Flash, killed off a bunch of other people. It basically just wiped the slate clean, stuff like that. They want to make Superman the only Kryptonian. So any Kryptonian there was, gone. That was it. And she was gone for like 20 years, almost 20 years. You didn't see Kara Zor-El Supergirl again. They basically replaced her with Power Girl. I'll give you 2 reasons why they decided that it was a good idea. So, yeah.
Those are good reasons.
Yeah. Guess who they fan cast for that? But anyway. Also, they brought Supergirl back in the 2000s, early 2000s, and, where she became like an agent of Darkseid or some shit. They had to rescue her from, Batman, Superman had to go, and Wonder Woman had to go to Apocalypse to save her, shit like that. If it sounds familiar, that's because from their cartoon, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. If you haven't seen it, it's awesome. Go see it. I think it's on Tubi. Go watch it.
Is it on HBO? Probably on
Maybe. I'm not sure. But like I said, Tubi is free. So you watch it there. So like I said, and plus she's had a whole bunch of TV shows and cartoons and video games and blah, 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 all that stuff like that. Like I said, we know Supergirl, but with no Supergirl, so there's a chance to get no Supergirl. So that's where we at. So now we have to move right now. What do I have here? Okay. So, like I said, Eli, I know we normally go back and forth, but I feel like I should go first on this. If that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. First and foremost, like I said, there's a lot of controversy going on about this movie. A lot of people upset about this movie, stuff like that. Oh, before I get there, also I want to talk about this movie. Before I talk about what I think about the movie, but where this movie came from. Like I said, for those who don't know, Supergirl is based on the DC graphic novel Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Like I said, when I say based on, I mean they took about like 5 bullet points and made a movie out of it. It is not a one, panel for panel adaptation like that. It is not that. It's pretty much just let's take some of the high notes, take some of the beats, and frame it around it and make a movie around it. Because they took some liberties with this movie that aren't in the graphic novel. So I'm okay with that. But the funny thing about this graphic novel is that it's based on True Grit. So, which was also based on the what's the guy's name? That guy, John Wayne. His name's right there. The John Wayne movie, True Grit, back in the 60s, which is also based on the novel True Grit, which was before that. So you have a comic, you have a movie based on a comic book, based on a movie, based on another movie, based on a novel. So yeah. So we're at that. Just want to say that also. So yeah. Oh, now that we said, now can I talk about the movie?
You asking permission?
Yeah. Now we're gonna get into it. Okay, so like I said, now I'm gonna talk about the movie. Before we start off, because like I said, it's big controversy about the movie. We saw what the box office numbers looked like. It's one of the very few superhero movies that didn't debut at #1, and the buzz is all about what people think about the movie like that. So first off, before we say anything about this movie, I do want to say I like this movie. I enjoyed this movie. So yeah, before we go further, I just want to say that before we get any kind of mystery, ambiguity, and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people are confused by this movie. Like I said, it's very close to the graphic novel we talked about. I read the graphic novel, so mostly what I saw in this movie, I kind of knew what was going to happen, and I kind of enjoyed myself just seeing how it varied, because people were thinking they were going to get basically Barbie in space. They didn't think they were going to get John Wick in space, because it's basically the same plot. Spoiler if anybody haven't seen the movie I guess most of y'all haven't seen the movie. Here's the plot of the movie. Her dog gets shot and they steal her ship. So she basically hunts them down all over the galaxy trying to find these dudes who end up turning out to be sex traffickers. So she's hunting down sex traffickers all over the galaxy for the guy shot a dog. So this is a revenge movie. What it is. Most people don't expect it. They think it's just gonna be like a Barbie movie in space. No, it's that. It's like it's a space western. That's what it is. So yeah, that's what we got going on right there. What else think about this movie? First off, my favorite thing about the movie, Billie Alcock. The actually plays Supergirl. There was a lot of controversy about her. I'm not going to get into that controversy, but I do want to say that she was the best thing about this movie. In my opinion, she carried this movie. It was all on her shoulders. She was funny. She was sarcastic. She was naive. She was innocent. Yeah, she was grieving. She was angry. She played all these ranges of emotions, and I feel like she nailed it. Like I said, Eli, I know you didn't watch House of Dragons. She was on that at first.
I heard,
but then they kind of aged her up, and honestly, when they aged her up, I kind of lost interest in the show. I didn't really care anymore after that. But I thought she was awesome in that, even though I don't really know shit about Game of Thrones and nothing like that. But I thought she was awesome in that. So I thought they did a good. I thought she killed. Like whatever y'all want to say about this movie, she nailed it. She may be one of my favorite casting choices that James Gunn has did so far. So what else we got here? We got here Ruthie. I don't know her actress. Maybe it's her first time playing. I don't know who she is, but I thought she did pretty good. Also, she had to good. These two have to have chemistry on it because, like I said, when we talk about the graphic novel, Supergirl wasn't the main character. Ruthie was the main character. Supergirl was more or less like her bodyguard, just following something like that. So Ruthie had to work. If Ruthie didn't work, the movie don't work. Now let's get into the most controversial thing that people are really knocking this movie for. The villain. Like I said, let's talk about our comic book villains of all time. We got Joker, we got Thanos, stuff like that. Now we have Krem of the Yellow Heels in that conversation. He's not in the conversation. People thought he was the weakest thing in the movie. I probably think he's the weakest thing in the movie too. But here's the thing. People are saying that he was terrible and bad. I don't think he was terrible. I think he was serviceable. Memorable? No. Forgettable? Well, yes, but serviceable. He did what he's supposed to do. At the end of the movie, you wanted him to put the Supergirl and whoever else to put their hands on him. That was the fuck they did. A lot of people are complaining about the look on him. Eli, you made the joke about taser face and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is what he looked like in the comics. A dude.
Okay.
That's what he was. He was just a dude. So I'm one of the people that thinking actually that I think his design is an improvement from the comic. Not a good one, but it's improvement. At least he looks interesting. Hell, he had powers in the movie. In the comics, he's just a dude. That's it. So, and like I said, he banned the comics because he just run away from Supergirl. We already know when Supergirl puts her hands on the guy, what's going to happen. The whole point is finding the guy. So it's not really about that. And plus, the movie isn't really about Krem anyway. We don't really care what she does with Krem. The whole point is a journey of grief, self-discovery, guilt, dealing with these things like that. It's almost like grief was the real villain of the movie and how you deal with it. It's a redemption arc. That's what I liked about that. So yeah. Another quick point I want to hit on here is the main man, Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I think about this. I think he's both the best thing and worst thing about this movie. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Because he looked awesome. Jason Momoa killed it. Like I said, we've been fan casting Jason Momoa as Lobo for over a decade. Like when he was cast as Aquaman, we were like, why is he not Lobo? So we was already thinking that to begin with. So now he's playing Lobo, it fits. But here's the problem. He don't fit in this movie. He feels like a studio mandate reshoot that they kind of put in this movie afterwards to target to a certain demographic. The same demographic shitting on this movie anyway. So it's like, what's the point of putting him in the movie anyway? Because he basically served no purpose in this movie. You can cut every single scene Lobo had in this movie. Nothing changes. He serves no purpose towards the story, which is kind of weird. Like you think, okay,
other than the fact that
you got a guy that can, fight cartoons like that. Have Supergirl fight Lobo. He's like the only dude in the universe that can go toe to toe with her. It's like that. It never happens. So it's just like, what was the point?
Well, if you cut him out of the movie, then I wouldn't have liked the movie as much.
And that's the reason he's in the movie, because he needs to sell tickets.
But he did feel shoehorned into this. Yeah.
Because he didn't serve any purpose. Now I would understand if he had a reason to be in the movie. Because like I said, he's not in the graphic novel at all. This is completely something they do. But he doesn't fit in this movie.
Yeah, it would have been cool if if they teamed up somehow. He just kind of randomly shows up.
Either one, or fought each other, or teamed up and fought each other. It's Lobo. You can do whatever. Lobo does both. He teams up with you and fights you.
Yeah.
So, and he's a threat for cartoon because that way you can have something that go against Supergirl other than just nerfing her all through the movie. You can have her go toe to toe against somebody and go toe to toe with her. Never happens. It's just Lobo just shows up, blows up shit, leaves. Blows up shit, leaves. The last third act of the movie, he's just watching from a distance. Like, does he have binoculars or some shit? Like, ooh.
Yeah, he's just watching. He doesn't really, you're right. He doesn't really do much.
He's just spectating like we are. Just like, and then when the shit's over, he's like, ooh, that was cool. And it just fucks off and that's it.
He wasn't, he didn't serve the plot at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been
was
cool
there to get you to watch the movie. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, and it would have been cool if he was if he did team, like if they teamed up, like they're both in bars all the time getting drunk, It would have been cool if like they just teamed up together and went on a Supergirl and Lobo team up. But
yeah, and I'm not saying he has to be all the way in the movie. I'm just saying have a purpose, because I still want this to be a Supergirl movie. I'm not expecting a Lobo movie, which I think they want some people to think it is. No, I'm fine with it being a Supergirl centric movie. I'm just saying give Lobo a purpose. Or
if they were in competition with each other, like he's after the dude over a bounty, right? And he's trying to kill him, and she's trying to stop him from
because she got to get the thing from crypto, right? So
so that would have been great, and it would have been funny. It would have, if like he's trying to kill, because how Lobo is like Deadpool. Well, Lobo was basically a parody of all those characters like Deadpool. Right. So it could have been funny, man, where he's like trying to kill her, and she has to like save the guy.
Right.
Like stop trying to kill him, and it could have been funny. And here I am making up a better movie.
Right. But that's my thing. So honestly, like I said, you can cut Lobo completely out this movie. Nothing changes. I know you. That's the reason you just get you in the movie and other people in the movie, whoever saw it. But he really didn't need to.
Yeah, there was a hype. Yeah, when we heard that Lobo was going to be in it, there was a bunch of hype behind it. And
yeah, ooh,
I gotta say, I was
and that's the whole point.
Yeah. So I thought he would have been more. Yeah, basically, more than just a cameo. It just felt like a cameo, even though he was in multiple scenes.
I called it. I called this what he was going to be.
Yeah.
So.
All
right, but like I said, I'm not here for Lobo. Y'all here for Lobo. I'm here for the movie. Like I said, other things to like about this movie. Like I said, we talk about it. We get some backstory on Kara, Supergirl, see what she's doing. Like I said, I like the difference between her because it feels like a yin and yang between her personality and Superman's personality. Now, people saying she acts too much like Star-Lord. Yeah, in the first act, she did. But here's the difference. Star-Lord was a man-child for 3 movies. And he just stayed the same, and that's it. She is forced to grow up in this scene. One of my favorite scenes in this movie when she jumps up to the, goes into space and starts screaming in space and shit like that. Because, no one can hear you scream. So she's just screaming in the void because she's so angry and upset and she's been bottled up and stuff like that because all she does is drink to forget everything she's doing. Now she's finally dealing with her emotions. I love that scene like that. Or like I said, her bond with Ruthie and things like that. Just her getting to face her. I mean, basically, she has a whole character arc going through this, Other than that, other things I like on that, there were other things I didn't like on it. Like I said, the movie doesn't have that pop like Superman did, like last year. Like you could put Superman in a home theater or a 75-inch TV and be like, ooh, look what my TV looks like. This movie doesn't look like that. It doesn't look as crisp as Superman did. I know that's kind of the point because it's more like a drabby, dreary, more depressing movie was supposed to be. But, I kind of wanted to pop a little bit more than it was. It almost felt like they didn't spend as much money on this as they did on Superman. So, which I'm hearing they did. So, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I love her character arc going through there. I want to see how she pops up more in there. The crazy ass aliens popping up there. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I don't know if I can say anything else about it, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm gonna let you take off and see what you got with it. Now you can tell the whole movie asshole if you want to. So yeah.
I thought it was all right.
Okay. Well, that's cool. If you say it's all right, that means it's good. That's the rule.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't particularly wowed by it, like you said. I thought it was fine. I liked her. You're right. I think she's great as Supergirl. I like the characters. I thought all the characters were fine. I thought she's great. I like her as Supergirl. I thought Jason Momoa as Lobo was cool. Yeah, I didn't mind any of the characters. I just thought the movie that these characters are in was just kind of, it was all right. Just kind of mediocre, kind of a generic, it's kind of a generic Guardians movie to me, I guess. Kind of, just a Guardians knockoff, and it just kind of felt like something you'd see on streaming or something. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't particularly wowed by it.
Right.
I thought it was okay. I did not read the comic, the Woman of Tomorrow comic. I didn't read that, and I'm not very well versed in DC cosmic lore. So if there was any like, ooh, that's that person. Ooh, there's a mother box, or ooh, there's that, or
the thing is, they didn't do any of that, and I was kind of expecting they did. Remember we talked about Space Cabbie? I thought he was gonna show up. He never did.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like maybe I didn't know enough about it to care about it. To be engaged. I wasn't engaged as much. And so as I was watching this, I don't know. It kind of felt like a chore, I guess. I'm like, it's like, damn. I started thinking I should have went and watched The Fury.
Why didn't you watch The Fury? You watch everything but The Fury.
I know. It's like because that's what I'm saying, and then it got me thinking. I'm like, well, because like you said, hey, did you see Mando yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it yet, but I kind of want to see He-Man. But they're like, oh, well, we haven't talked about Mando, so maybe I should go see Mando. So I went and saw Mando.
Right.
And then I was like, well, I suppose I should see Supergirl so we could talk about it on the pod. So it's like, damn, this is starting to feel like a job again.
Right. Which is why I figured you watched the Furious. So yeah.
I was like, and this is like,
that's why
damn,
you told me you even watched that. I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah. Because like I started feeling like that with Marvel. We're like, okay, I got a comic book podcast. You know how it was back in the day. I mean, we've been doing this for like over a decade now. God damn, we're getting old. But back when we first started, there was like this excitement because every movie was pretty cool. And there was an excitement to every movie that came out. You know, that's pretty much what we did. You know, yeah, we read comics and reviewed comics, but no one really gave a shit. You know, and they were here to, you know, the few people that our audience was here to wonder what we thought about the superhero flick that came out. What, you know, because they were coming out all the time. You know, the peak Marvel and shit, and you know, the BVS controversy and all that shit. Remember those great days? But so yeah, and then after a while, I'm like, damn, this shit ain't hitting like it used to. You know, I didn't, and then at one point, damn, I don't want to watch the Guard or Eternals. And I never did.
Right.
And I'm like, as I was watching this movie, I'm like, damn, we're 2 movies into the DCU, and I'm already feeling like this is a job.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, I thought it was fine. It's totally serviceable, like you said. You know, I thought it was fine. I don't think it's like, oh, this is it for the, you know, I mean, you know, everyone's saying, oh, comic book movies are done and blah, 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 blah. No, I mean, comic book movies are going to be comic book movies. And this is just another comic book movie. And it's not a great one, but it's.
I agree. Like I said, you know, I enjoyed the movie. I'm not saying it's top 5 or anything like that. Yeah. I just enjoyed it. Yeah.
I mean, we have a comic book movie genre now. And this is just another one of those movies in, you know, to go with that genre. Like, oh yeah, I watch horror flicks. Some of them I like, some of them are just okay, you know. But you know, it's not like I'm not gonna stop watching horror movies or stop watching kung fu movies. Just like this is just another superhero flick. We're not gonna stop watching superhero flicks just because one isn't as cool as Endgame or whatever comes out. You know,
I mean, well, some people are over this shit because it's not as cool.
Yeah, well, comic.
If it ain't Endgame, it's done. It's like a lot of people ain't watching shit until the next Avengers come out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like we always said that Marvel hooked non-comic book fans,
right?
You know, and once the non-comic book fans stop giving a shit, well, look at the box office numbers,
right?
You know, the only ones that give a shit about this are comic book fans,
right?
You know, so yeah, comic book fans are gonna always watch this shit, and that's fine. You know, this one is just an okay. This one's just a mid comic book movie, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They don't all have to be like bangers. You know.
All right. So now we got to slip a score on it.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. You know I was gonna overrate it over you anyway, like that. One reason I'm gonna give it a little bit more. One, we're not gonna talk about the ending, but because of the ending. Yeah. Also, this isn't about saving the universe or saving the galaxy and stuff like that. It's more of a personal story. Like, even though it's in spatial like that, we don't get too many comic book movies where it's just about that. You know, it's always about saving the universe, saving the world, saving New York or some shit like that. No, this is about saving one little girl's soul. And I was like, okay, I can appreciate this story. It's a smaller scale story.
Yeah, I dig all the themes, and I dig, you know, the idea of her trying a redemption arc, and she was trying to, like, you know, keep that girl from going down her path, you know.
Right.
And I thought that was cool. Like I said, I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the arc. It's just, you know, the actual stuff that was going on. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't as bright. It felt like a Zack Snyder movie where it's just bland, colorless at some times.
Which another people had criticism about that also. I wish I could show you the comic, but the comic, the colors popped, you know. And it's dreary. That is, of course, you can't have the artwork and style like that, like it did in the comics in the movie, because otherwise the budget would have been twice what it was already, you know.
Yeah.
So they kind of skipped on that, where you really had it pop out in the comic.
Yeah. But the thing is, the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were like all criminals with dark pasts and struggling to bond. You know, they all had these they were all criminals. All these, you know, they all did dirt. They all had trauma. They all had fucked up pasts, and they reluctantly came together and formed this family. You know, so that was like the nature of those movies. But though but those movies were bright and colorful.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess I wanted to like it more than I did. I don't say I was disappointed, but I was just like, it was okay. Yeah.
But you still got to stop scrolling.
Oh, I'll give it a 3. 3 out of 5. It was just all right. I mean, yeah, it's worth the look, but I wasn't too impressed.
Okay. I feel like the 2 opinions we're giving is aside from the assholes. I feel like that's what the internet is saying right now.
Yeah, I know.
Like I said, honestly, Eli, from what I'm seeing in the movie, like when you filter out everything, this is a very divisive movie as far as like what people think about it. You got people that really like the movie. You got people like, it's mid as fuck, like that. And I'm seeing like every other post like that. I'm even seeing women saying the post like that. Like I said, so we can't say, those assholes like that. You got a bunch of people saying stuff like that. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting what people say about the next week about this movie. Will it get legs? Will it pick up? Will it drop down even more? I feel like that's how you're going to tell what the general consensus of what the movie's going to be. Because I think people are still kind of figured out. Like, okay, like we say Flash, shit movie. Joker 2, shit movie. So when you say shit movie, you know what a shit movie is. We're still deciding if this is a shit movie right now. I mean, general public wise. So that will be decided next week.
I mean, I think DC fans, like hardcore DC fans, will be biased and kind of probably like it more than most.
Yeah, but how many DC fans are there that you know? Hey, I'm probably like the only one you know.
But I'm just saying, like, it's like me with Man. Oh yeah, I'll there's some things I'll forgive because,
right.
And that's another thing. Like, like even Star Wars movies are now mid now.
Right.
That we've reached that point in time where these things that we look forward to are just kind of okay. But yeah, right. I mean, I forgave a lot of shit because I'm a Star Wars fan. And I think that's what DC fans will probably forgive a lot, because they're into this shit,
Right.
And so, but yeah, I mean, it's like I was kind of hyped to see this, because I liked Superman and I'm interested in seeing where James Gunn takes this universe and stuff. So I was kind of hyped for this, and it's just kind of like, okay, whatever, And
I think that's another thing people are going to knock this for. And I think Marvel kind of spoiled it on this. There's not very much world building in this movie. It doesn't set up anything. Like Darkseid didn't cameo at the end of it and shit like that. There's not even an after credit scene. It just ends.
That's there's no after credit scene.
Yeah, there's no after credit scene, no end. Lobo might pop again, or we might never see him again. It's a toss up right now. Who knows what the fuck might happen? The point is that this is a very self-contained movie. I don't even think you really even need to see Superman to watch this movie.
No, and that's the thing is like Superman was like, I felt like there was a lot going on in Superman. Like,
and that's another thing why I gave this movie a little bit higher score than Eli. Because what's the plot of Superman? Right, exactly. My whole point. This is simple. Yeah. They shot a dog. She's chasing after him. That's it. That's the movie. It's very simple, to the point, gets to the point. Where Superman had all this shit going on, it was trying to juggle too much stuff. This gets to the point. And then most of the only, and you get this character story and backstory with her, but at the point of it, there's a mainline focus. Like people keep carrying this to Guardians, but it's more like Mad Max Fury Road, or it's more like John Wick, like as far as like the story plot of what they're going to, the whole point is about the movie is sex trafficking.
Yeah, plot wise, it's pretty much John Wick, or it's anything. Yeah, it's just like the nature of it. They're just traveling through space,
right?
Going from world to world. Yeah.
Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to argue with you because, like I said, I've seen some valid criticism. You gave me some valid criticism right now. I've seen these same criticisms online before. You can't argue with them. It's just, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
and that's the thing, and that's fine. That's fine. That we're superheroes movies are here to stay. Right. Now like I said, we've reached a point where they're mid. Right. You know what I mean? And they're always gonna. Yeah, they're an institution now.
I don't know, Eli. You keep saying it. I don't think so. We've already had a downpour of this. Like I said, we got 2 Marvel movies this year, where it used to be like 4 or 5 of them. Like this movie may have cost like $200 million. It's not making its money back. It's taking a hit. And we can talk about that a lot of time, but I just want to address it. That I think this puts the nail in the coffin on female action movies, not superhero movies, action movies.
Well, my point is, like, there's always going to be interest in superhero stories, whether they get released,
because there isn't.
But you just saw it.
I saw it. I don't count. I'm not.
No. You talked about Superman and Batman Apocalypse. It's on Tubi.
Right.
If you go to Tubi, yes, you could watch. There's whole seasons of the Spider-Man cartoon or this. You know what I mean? There is superhero storytelling in other. They're not coming out in movies, but there's still an interest in them. Right. They just announced they're going to do an absolute Batman animation. So there's always going to be that interest in those. Whether they get released in the theaters is.
That's what I'm talking about. What were you released in the theaters?
Yeah.
I think that's where the shit gonna slow down. Because, like I said, I'm not even on superhero movies anymore. I'm on action movies,
and that's
they don't sell. Like we talking about this, a female John Wick. They had a female John Wick. Nobody saw Ballerina.
Yeah, and that's movie. I think that's just movies in general. I think movies have to.
We say that, but we just saw Toy Story do $500 million. We just saw Michael Jackson do $1 billion. We just saw Obsession break all kind of records like that. So people are still going to the movies. They're just not seeing Supergirl. They're not seeing He-Man. They're not seeing Mortal Kombat. Mandalorian's doing okay, but that's my whole point I'm trying to make. People, there's still a hunger for movie theaters, just not this. In movie theaters. Yeah,
there's like the event movies. I think, if you make an event out of it, sure. But I think movies have less value now. I think this, the TikTok generation just don't give a shit about movies.
I think they do, just not these movies.
Yeah, but they'll still wait till they come on streaming. They'll watch them eventually. Will they go out in the theater?
Get to it, yeah.
Like my kid, my kid doesn't go to movies unless I drag them to him. I asked him if he wanted to see He-Man. No. I asked my nephew he wanted to go see He-Man. No.
You're like, who?
Don't give a shit. And, hey, you want to watch a movie? Sure. They come down and watch the movie. They're on their whole fucking phone the whole time, and this is in the house.
Right.
they're just not into movies like we are. I think and I don't know how to fix that. But I'm just saying that movies in general are just like an old art form that that are kind of, they're trying new things. They're trying streaming. Streaming is not working like they thought,
right.
And
I saw diluting the product that they already have right now.
And that's the thing is, movies historically were supposed to compete with Broadway musicals and dance numbers. When film first, that's why movies are 90 minutes. Because film reels were what.
Another reason I like this movie, it was 90 minutes.
It was short, yeah.
Not 2.5 hours like Grogu was.
Yeah, and that was like basically trying to be a TV show in the movie theater. Right, and that's what I'm saying. The art, the art of cinema, the art of seeing a movie in a theater and engaging an audience for that amount of time. We're losing that because we're starting to have these 3-hour movies all the time that like I'm getting tired of. Right. Bring back the 90 minutes because that was scientifically proven when they first started making movies. Like, damn, people can't hold their attention for that long. So but don't make it too short or they're gonna go see the Broadway musical for their money. You know what I mean? Because like Broadway musicals are like a couple hours long. So, but we have to if we combined 9 film reels together, that can sustain that's a good night out. Because film reels are 10 minutes long, so we got to combine them together and hold their attention for an hour and a half. And they're people. That's a worthy night out.
Another reason I like this movie, Eli. It was a 3-act structure.
Yeah.
How many times we get that? Movies don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, the art, the basic structures of movie plot, of movie theater experiencing is being kind of lost,
Right.
So, but here we are, kind of I feel like a mediocre flick, and I think that's fine.
You're not the only one. So,
but I think what I'm saying is like every movie, every superhero flick doesn't have to be this big bombastic thing,
You say that, but I think they do. I think the expectation is they do. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of watching this self-contained story that doesn't lead into anything and doesn't introduce Darkseid like it? What's the point of it? What's the point of a movie that has no after credit scenes? I think some people are thinking that.
Yeah.
Some people are thinking like, well, who does she fight in? Does she fight some big dude? No, she fights Krem of the Yellow Hills. Like who? Like fuck this movie, you know?
Yeah, and that's because of the Marvel method of making episodic TV in the theaters.
Right.
You know, we went and saw them because, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? You know, we had to see. There was a need to see all those movies because they had us engaged because it was like seeing another episode of a show. You know, of course, back then we thought, oh, these are actually comic book issues, but in the movies,
right, or TV episodes, but in movies. But
yeah. But here we are, just like, oh, it's just here's just a movie. This is what movies are. You know,
right.
You know, so I applaud the movie for being, like what you said, for being just a straight up a flick, a 90-minute flick, 3-act structure, a personal journey, character growth, all that stuff that movies are supposed to have.
But I'm saying, but are superhero movies allowed to be that? That's the thing.
That's I think they should. I think we need more of them. It's just, you know, we've seen that stuff before. That's my thing. It's like I've seen this done before. You know,
like even I just said, oh, it's like this movie, like that movie, like the movie. Well, we can just watch that movie.
Yeah, like I said, I liked her. I think she's great as Supergirl. I liked the character. I liked all the character growth. It's just, you know, the fight scenes were just okay. Everything was just okay. You know,
I agree with you. The fight scenes could be. That was another thing I was going to say. Also, the fight scenes could be better. You didn't see any inventive powers, Kryptonian powers with her. She just kind of just did the basic Superman stuff we've seen on the CW. I won't say that. I saw watched the CW Supergirl show. It was better than that. You couldn't get worse than that. So yeah.
I watched,
but still, me, I get it. But yeah,
I watched multiple seasons of the Supergirl show.
Did you? How you did and I did?
I don't know.
I had no threshold for that. I'm sorry.
But you actually finished like Arrow, and I fell off. I fell off all those shows after a while. But yeah, I watched all of them: Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, fucking even Batwoman. Shit.
Right.
or what was the time travel?
Legends
of Tomorrow. I was even watching that for a while, you know. But I fell off them, you know. But no, I just think that, you know, like when every fight seemed to have, oh, this has been done in that movie, it's been done in that movie, and it's not doing anything, you know, I guess spectacular. I mean,
and I guess that may have hurt the movie or anything else.
Yeah.
You go see an action movie for the action.
You know,
the action isn't inventive, or the action isn't, you know, grab you engaging. Then, that I completely agree with you on. So we're not in disagreement on that. So
and like every time there was a fight scene, a song would play, just like in the Guardians.
The needle drop, you
know,
trying to be too James Gunny, but
like even though I'm old and I didn't recognize any of the songs, but I'm like, oh, this is just basically like I said, a Guardians movie.
And how did those aliens knew the girl from Ipanema?
I don't know.
Remember that scene? How did they know that song?
I don't know. I don't even know I don't even know that song. I don't even know what song you're talking about.
You know that song.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Yes, the girl from Ipanema. You know this. Okay, Google it afterwards anyway.
Okay.
But when you hear it, you can be like, oh yeah, the aliens knew that song.
Yeah, aliens were drinking coffee. I'm like,
right. Yeah, I guess we can't complain about it too much. But
getting drunk in a bar. Like,
all right. Yeah. So can we move on past that? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, we talked about enough Supergirl. That's Supergirl. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. We're gonna move on to the video game section. Hit some high points real quick. Eli, we got another price hike coming from Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah. So just hit you with it real quick. So the Xbox right now, the Xbox Series X right now on the shelf is $649, which was a price hike that we saw then. It's now going to $799, $800.
Damn.
See if I can throw it up.
That's the Pro or the?
No, there is no Pro. There is no Pro Xbox. It's just a regular ass Xbox.
The one with where you can download shit into?
I mean, it's got like a disk drive and stuff like that. So yeah. So not the Series X, not Series S, the Series X. The regular one, like I said, it was $649 a month, 2 months ago, and now they're doing another price hike. So now it's $799. So it's not an Xbox Pro or anything like that. It's just an Xbox. That's it. Okay. $799, $800. It's happening in August. So if you don't have an Xbox, you might want to make that move because I don't know if you heard about Grand Theft Auto 6. They've announced the price. It's gonna be $60. No, $100. My fault. It's already on the website right now for $100 if you want to get it. So yeah. People are complaining about it. Y'all shut the fuck up because y'all buy Madden and NBA 2K for $100 right now anyway. So yeah, y'all buy Call of Duty for $100 right now. That deluxe version or whatever like that. So yeah. So that's that. And also while all that's going on, a new console has been announced from another video game system called Valve. I don't know if you heard about Valve. Let me see if I can switch to them real quick. They make PC gaming. They're involved in PC gaming stuff like that.
Is that Gears of War?
No. Gears of War's on Xbox.
No, but the company.
Gears of War's Xbox.
I know they're on Xbox, but I think the company that made it, I remember seeing the Valve, Valve, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's Epic. Valve Epic, two different things.
Or is that was that Left 4 Dead?
That's Valve. That's Valve.
Okay, that's who it was.
Left 4 Dead is Valve. Half-Life and Team Fortress.
Okay, yeah. I remember that logo popping up on the screen whenever I.
Yeah. So that they just announced a new system. The Steam machine, which they never announced the price and they finally gave us the price. The price of it starts at $1049.
Damn.
Keep in mind that $1049 price does not include a controller. So to make it even worse,
get that $5 Steam controller. The Gordon Garchero one.
Right. You should take money off you put that shit in there. But yeah. So, but here's the worst part of it. It's a $1,000 video game system. And Digital Foundry did a comparison between that and the PlayStation. The PlayStation 5. Not the PlayStation 5 Pro, the regular PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 beat it. It plays games better than this shit. I'm like, what the fuck like that? To make it even worse, I did a comparison on some shit I wish I could share it right now because they did a comparison showing how Cyberpunk will play on the Steam machine. And it was all janky and shit like that. Okay, we're streaming right now, Eli, on a Mac Mini. I've showed you my Mac Mini before, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can play Cyberpunk on this thing we're recording right now for 6 frames per second. I can probably play Cyberpunk right now on the system while we're streaming. It'll play 6 frames per second. It's better than the Steam machine. This is a waste of time. So don't let anybody say your Steam machine. This thing is a rip-off. It is a fraud. You know, nobody's going to get it. So I'm just letting you know that right now. Stay away from the Steam machine if you think about it. So, yeah. And plus, it won't even play Grand Theft Auto 6 when it comes out. So, complete waste of time. So, that's all I got. That's all I got.
Well, we won't get endorsed by Valve.
Right. See, the thing is, they said they wanted to actually release it for $750, but with all this AI stuff coming out, all the computer parts are like jumping up and stuff like that, which is why the PlayStation and Xbox prices are soaring right now. So they said if they did it for the price, they lose at a loss. So yeah, and so yeah, that's a crazy thing right now. So yeah, we won't pass that. Okay. So anything else you got before we move on to the next part? Or
no, I believe we're good.
Cool. All right. So, like I said, this comic Bullies, we're talking about comic books. We're gonna jump into it, and Eli, why don't you go first and see what we got?
Yeah, I guess I'll do Detective Comics 1110, number 11.
Detective. Okay.
So yeah, Tom Taylor, y'all. So this
we love Tom Taylor right here, but yeah.
Yeah, Tom Taylor, right? Yeah, Tom Taylor, not Tom King. Tom King wrote Supergirl of tomorrow.
I was gonna say it was like, yeah. We never had a problem with Tom Taylor. Tom King, on the other hand, he'll either get the best story or the worst story, nothing in between. He does not like, in between. So yeah.
Tom King is Supergirl or Woman of Tomorrow.
Right.
So Tom Taylor continues the Prion mystery arc. With the kid, the radical kid who joined the Bat family or that crew with Batman and Green Arrow,
talking about Wildcat and all that.
Yeah, and Dinah and with Black Canary and all that. And he died. And when they were at his, visiting the cemetery, they found this family and this little girl who they couldn't figure out who it was. And then, of course, the little girl turned out to be all ill. She pushed Green Arrow off the fucking roof and whooped Batman's ass and ended up at the hideout, that gym where they all trained at with Black Canary. And that's where this issue picked up. She ends up escaping. Hey, Batman and Green Arrow are like, hey, Black Canary, what are you doing? Oh, I'm here with the chick. And they're like, oh man, she's trying to kill us, basically. So then she takes off running, and then Batman's like, we can track her. So they track her. And they go to her hideout. And it turns out that little girl is in some organization that's basically told her she's a princess that's supposed to defend their nation and blah, 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 blah. And that basically that little girl is an assassin, like a programmed assassin with kind of like the Winter Soldier, where that you tell them a word, and then
they get activated.
They get activated into being a kick-ass motherfucker. So that's what that little girl is. So, yeah, Black Canary goes into the mansion, whips asses, gets the girl. Like, I'm taking you with you. You're not a princess. You're just a hired assassin. They've been lying to you. And then, of course, right before they're about to escape, they show up. All the thugs show up and like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, you lied to me. I'm not a princess. I'm just a hired killer for you. Goes, oh, that's funny. Because are you leaving with Black Canary? She's like, yeah. Oh, well, Black Canary killed your dad. And you know who your dad is? Prion.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So Prion is that little girl's dad or father. Or yeah, right. Yeah,
I took a shotgun to the back? Damn.
Yeah, Batman got shot.
Okay.
This is a flashback. That was a flashback when Prion was all, back in the crew and shit. He was all idealistic and shit. And so yeah, that's kind of the twist. It turns out Black Canary killed Prion.
Was he like evil, some shit, and she forced to do it? Or?
We don't know why. And she's like, I'm so sorry, but it's the truth. And that's where it is. So the plot thickens.
Okay.
So this moved along a little bit, kind of a filler issue, but it did reveal. There was a big reveal at the end, Dun, 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 dun. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice. Okay. All right, now we got this set up. Okay, what we're gonna do, the book I'm gonna do is Superman number 39, I guess. 39. Okay. We're keeping up with Superman Prime.
Okay.
Or Superboy Prime. Yeah, Prime Time. So we got there. Nope. Right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, like I said, these Prime stories are getting crazier and crazier because, like I said, it's meta. He knows he's in the comic. So now he's fighting a villain that knows that he's in the comic, that knows the Superboy Prime's in the comic. So that's the crazy thing about it, Manchester Black. So we're going to get to that. So, yeah. So like I said, this is probably one of the trippiest issues we've had and maybe a Superman book ever together, because it gets like really meta in this one. So we're going to just jump into it and see what we got. So yeah, Superman Prime, Superman, whatever, number 39. So let's see. All right. So book starts off with Superboy Prime. Like I said, the last issue, he was sent back to Crisis on Infinite Earths when, he had to fight the Justice League, the Justice Society, and the Teen Titans and all that shit like that. He's like, I'm not gonna fight you guys like I did last time. Because you can't hurt me anyway, so it doesn't matter. So they just keep punching him. But like I said, he's so OP, nothing can hurt him anyway. Then this guy wrist pops out, and it bam breaks his own arm against Prime. Now in the original comic of Crisis on Infinite Earth, Prime ripped his arm off. So he's like, damn, again? So he's like, that wasn't me this time. That was him, So then they're like, oh, you were going to get shit for that. And he's like, okay. So the Flash came. So he already knew what was going to happen because it happened before. The Flash trapped him in the Speed Force and blah, 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 stuff like that. So he's like, nope, not going to happen again. Saw that coming. So they're fighting him. He don't even know who these guys are, and then next thing you know, he's like, and plus none of this stuff you can imagine why you fighting me, guys, because like I said, we're after Crisis and New 52 and Rebirth and Death Metal and all this like that. Everything's back to normal like it was anyway before you even did it. Like you might as well be rebooted. So why are you mad at me? All of you back from the dead anyway. Everybody except for me, and it is Superman from Earth 2, who he killed in Crisis on Infinite Earth. He was like, yeah, I'm back. So now what you gonna do about it? He was like, and it's fucked up because he kind of raised him. They were like trapped in limbo, shit like that. So they kind of raised each other like best friends. That's why he killed us. He like he trying to apologize for killing him. He was like, you're not me, boy. You're just Superboy. So he was like, they just take off fighting each other because he was like, yeah, you kicked my ass or like that. He was like, yeah. And he was like, what you gonna do, old man? You gonna throw a car at me? He was like, nah, because I'm not from the era. And then he throws a moon at him. He's like, because this Earth 2 Superman is basically Silver Age Superman. It's like, what if Silver Age Superman grew up? That's why he's doing this crazy ass shit like that. So yeah, here's what the moon is like that. And now he's teleported to Superman, the animated series. So yeah, he's like, oh, it's a cartoon. I like cartoons. Okay, it's pretty cool. And then that's when Mansion's Blackflame shows up and tells them what's the plot going on like that. I only put you in this cartoon because you're so stupid. I had to explain you what's going on. So I want you. Oh, he's gonna flashback, basically saying that Lex Luthor killed him, but his body disappeared, but his mind came back together because so much psychic energy. And basically, so when he tapped into Superboy Prime's memory, since he can break the fourth wall, now he has the ability to break the fourth wall through Superboy Prime. So he wants Superboy Prime to punch reality again like he did before, but this time it won't be accidental. He can basically weaponize it exactly how he wants to. And Prime's like, I'm not doing it, So plus you're dark and gritty. I don't like dark and gritty. He like, exactly. So bam. And now he's taking them from comic to comic in this dark, edgy, Snyderverse world where he's fighting, bad guys like that. But and Aquaman's got a chainsaw for a hand, so all the shit. So it's like he's making fun of Scott Snyder and Zack Snyder, both of them, You're like, and why does Superman have a gun? He was like, for super bullets, asshole, So yeah, so he's just like, dude, you're not even British. You were created by two American dudes. You're like, exactly. That's what I like because you know how the sausage is made. So go ahead and break reality so we can go ahead and reverse this world exactly how we want to. Because think about it, when Superman comes back, he's gonna kick you out anyway. Because remember that nothing of this shit ever changes. So we both know Superman's coming back and you'll be out of a job. You're like, nah, that's not gonna happen. So he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep hurting you until you do what I say. He's like, you can't hurt me. The JSA, Titans, the Just League, they all try to fight me. They can't hurt me. What the hell are you gonna do to me? I'm like, oh, you'll see. Bam. So he kicks him out of this comic and kicks him into another comic, in a romance comic. So that's when he meets his girlfriend. Well, girlfriend, quotations, Witchfire. It's just like, Prime, kiss me. You're like the Batman to my Catwoman or the Batman to my Talia. He like, yeah, Batman really got a type, don't he? She was like, kiss me, Prime. He like, I can't kiss you right now because they're watching. So I can't do it in front of them. And then that's when she kicks him out of that comic, and then he gets into a horror comic. And he was like, yeah, I don't know anything. So he only knows superhero comics, so he's unfamiliar with horror comics. And he's afraid that the longer he stays in here, the more he's going to lose his grip on the fourth wall that know he's in a comic. So he walks into this horror comic, and it is like an Archie comic or some shit. He's like, the fuck is this? So yeah. And so he sees his old boss from the comic shop. He like, I thought this was a comic store. And his boss says, what's a comic store? And then he realized he's in a horror comic because comic books don't exist in this horror comic. So yeah, he's like, no, get me the fuck out of here. So yeah. And that's when he like jumps from comic to manga to Sin City to Conan. And this one, he was like, what the fuck is this, a 9-panel grid? I better run before Tom King gets me. He's in a war comic. Mickey Mouse, he's like, fuck. So he keeps fucking with him. And then that's when he just like, because basically that's what he's telling him. He's like, yeah, so you better go ahead and break reality because I'm going to keep doing this until you set reality. Because all you got to do is just brush reality. You can break out this comic, And that's when every Superman from the multiverse tagged him: animated Superman, Electric Boogaloo Superman, Mickey Mouse Superman. I don't know what the fuck that Superman back there. Superbat on the very right down here. Martha, who we call, yeah. So they all kicking his ass and shit. And he's whooping that ass, and Batman's just like, Wonder Woman lasso him, And he's like going crazy trying to, and then when he gets hit by Wonder Woman lasso, he's like, wait a minute, this is real? And like, I thought they didn't do that. So he's got like a whole bunch of dead superheroes around him and shit like that. Batman's telling him, this is always you, Prime. You was always going to turn your back on us. We knew it. Lois's crime. She was like, I did all this. I took my neck out for you. You did this. So he like, nah, I can't go back to this. So then he punched reality to reset it, which is exactly what Manchester Black wanted him to do. So now he weaponized everything the way he wanted to do, and now Manchester Black came back to life. Now he has a body again. And he was like, what should we reboot first? To be continued. So, that's Supergirl. Yeah. So, trippy. I'm loving this because it's giving the writers just room to just do whatever the fuck they want to do with it. And the tripper they get, the more I like it. So, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with the book next, but we'll see. We're going to keep it going. But overall, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for this book. I like this one. So,
is that your book of the week?
Yeah, it's my book of the week. I'm going to go with this one. Yeah. I'm enjoying the hell out of this series. People really need to read this Superman Prime book because this trippy and crazy and comic booky as fuck. So, yeah. So, what you got next?
I have Moonstar number 4. I'm doing my due diligence.
Before they come get you. So, okay.
Yes, I'm doing this for the culture.
Eli, I don't want you to get canceled. So,
yeah. Danny Moonstar, aka Mirage, aka Valkyrie, aka a bunch of other shit.
Psyche,
yes. The Native American X-Men mutant leader of the New Mutants has her own book, spinning out of the Magic series, where she was part of some magic crew that did shit with magic and some other folks. Not just magic the character, Ileana Rasputin magic.
Right. And magic also, but yeah.
And magic. Yeah. Magic's magic. And in this story, she basically gets a couple of those folks from that old crew basically enlist her to help them track down this like super villain barbarian necromancer dude who is going around trying to raise the dead and turn the world into a dead planet or whatever the fuck. And he's got a magic sword that collects souls, and he's after a tablet so he can do this death spell or whatever that could turn the world into like a ghost world or some shit, So they go off to go stop him. Last issue, she got trapped into the sword and kind of had to face her past and stuff and all her, the stuff that happened with her parents and all that shit. And now she's out of the sword, and now they got to go, and she finds out that dude kidnapped her parents, and she's going to go get her parents back, and then she's got to get that tablet before he finds it and stop him from doing the magic spell thing. And then she's flirting with the dude that she's with. You can kind of tell
she was a Valkyrie too. So
yeah, she's a Valkyrie. She's flirting with the dude. There's that sort of romantic tension going on, I'm pretty sure, between them. But it's basically they're just going around. They do at one point they're in the forest, and there's a forest of like zombie animals. It turns out that dude's spell is starting to seep into the earth and poison it. Now all the animals are like zombie monster things. So they have to like fight these zombie monster animal things. But yeah, it's basically more of a kind of revealing of her past and, her emotional struggles. And, she fears losing her parents again. Because that happened back in the old days. We reviewed the Demon Bear saga back in the day. Dealt with her parents disappearing and becoming white or something. What the fuck? It's weird. So it's basically she's been through a lot and she's trying to maintain hope and all that. And yeah, it's more this book feels more like a character study. Like this issue, feels more like a character study, which I do kind of appreciate. That's the only interesting thing I found about this issue is that it just sort of dove into Danny's past and her motivations and her struggles to remain optimistic even when shit gets rough. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm just not feeling the whole. I'm not into magic shit. I'm not into Harry Potter. I'm not into Doctor Strange or any of that shit. That's just not my thing. So that's what this is. It's just a lot of magic spell shit. that I'm just not into. So it's just more of a taste thing. But like I said, it's a native character, a native comic book character. I have to put my money where my mouth is, and review it, buy it.
I'm proud of Eli because, like I said, I don't want no smoke from that side of the comic community. So
yeah. So I mean, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Right. They were coming after me for some shit you didn't do. So
I'm just not into I'm just, like I said, it's a taste thing. I'm not into magic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what this book is. It's just a bunch of spell casting.
Right.
Mages. What are they called? Mages and shit,
Yeah, mages. Yeah, I play Final Fantasy. They're on there.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
So yeah, 3 out of 5.
All right. So last book I'm going to do, I'm going to do a throwback, Eli.
Oh, really? Already?
It's going to be controversial. Back in 2021. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh,
just the first issue. I'm not doing a thing. Just the first issue. Just to give you a feel of what the book was like versus what the movie was like.
Just to you validate yourself, man. Show them what's up. Represent,
Yeah. So I know you're
that's
like,
what we do here.
Right. So that's what we do. Like I said, we're a comic book podcast. So yes, it's based on a comic book. So I want to just do the comic book. And when I do this first issue, I'm kind of like, I don't even have to say it. You'll kind of know what's different, what was there, what's not like, and basically why the comic is held in such high regard, where the movie could be mid. You'll be able to see it immediately. Where you'd be like, oh, okay, I see it here, but I don't see it there. Hold on, what is this? I shouldn't click this, but we'll click it away.
Oh, sweet.
Yay,
bot.
Okay.
All hella Doom bots.
Doombot seize him. Do your job. Shit. You just stop spying on us, dude. Take out the viruses or some shit. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, Supergirl, Woman Tomorrow, issue 1. And
Infinite Frontier.
Is that what
this wasn't a black label?
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I thought this was a black label. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't black label. No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This was like immediate. So this book is in continuity.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a black label, but even though you can read it by itself and be one thing and that's it. But yeah, this was not a black label book. So yeah, let's get to it. So book starts off with
remember Son of Kal-El? Now that was a good book.
That was a good book. That was a good book.
Why are we reviewing Tom that? Taylor. It's Pride Month, man. Why aren't we reviewing this?
There you go. Pride Month. Son of Kal-El. That's your character. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. That was cute. That was a cute story.
It was. All right. So the book starts off with a guy getting stabbed. Who's getting stabbed? Ruthie's father getting stabbed by Krem of the Yellow Hills. We don't know if he's from the Yellow Hills. He just claims the Yellow Hills.
See those colors, man? You see those fucking colors?
That's what I'm saying, Eli. That's what I'm saying.
Look at that.
That's what I'm agreeing with you on it. I'm agreeing with you.
It's not bright, and it's not bright.
The movie can't do. You know what the budget would be like on that?
But that's just other color scheme, man.
Yes.
Some reds, man. Reds and cyans, man. It's on the color wheel on your fucking Photoshop. What the fuck? I
know, man. I know what you're saying. And yes, I agree with you on that. Okay. So the thing is, Ruthie.
Look at that. Look at that shit. Look at it go. Oh, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you on that. But here's the thing. Ruthie, she's actually the narrator of the story. She's the protagonist of the story. She finds her father dead in her own farm, by Krem of the Yellow Hills, who they was keeping at their house for a while. They got into an argument and Krem stabbed him with his own sword. So she was like, and she just pulled the sword out of her dad's chest and she was like, okay, I'm going to get his ass. And she's telling the story. And this is the story of how Supergirl killed Krem of the Yellow Hills. So this is the stinger right here. We're trying to figure out how we got to that point, and she takes the sword.
Tom King.
Yeah. Tom King on Tom King. Yeah. So here's the thing. So Ruthie is the youngest sibling of six sons. I mean, of 7 kids, whatever like that. Anyway, she got 6 brothers. They are arguing on what to do. They find out that Krem killed their father because they got into it with the king or some shit like that. So they're all too pussy to go after Krem. They're like, we go after Krem, he's gonna kill us too. So we just go sit here, just not do shit. So, and then plus they want to like argue over who's going to get control of the farm and all this shit like that. So they ain't got to do anything. They don't care. So Ruth is just like, okay, well, fuck it. I'll do something. So Ruthie is just like, I'm going to go on. And her mother's just like, I know what you're going to do, Ruthie. You're going after him, aren't you? Like, I didn't expect you to be the one to go after him. She was like, yeah, mother, I'm going. She's like, well, if you get out of here, fine. Take the horse. And I don't want to see that thing again. So she's kind of telling her daughter goodbye. Because if she don't want to see the horse again, she don't think that Ruth is coming back either. Like Ruth's gonna get killed. So yeah, and whatever, that's her father's horse thing. She's riding on the shit like that. Yeah. So she's off to a quest. So now we get Black Conan. So yeah, and Black Conan, Ruthie finds him first. Ruthie finds out that this guy is the baddest motherfucker on the planet. He can kill anybody, and she's offering him the sword. She was like, "Look, this is my father's sword. It's an awesome sword. If you kill Krem of the Yellow Hills, you can have this sword. This will be your payment. I know it's cost a lot for you to do what you need to do, but obviously you need a sword like this." And he's like, this is an awesome looking sword. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And he's like, you know what? I tell you what, I'm going to go kill this guy for you. I'm going to go find him. You go back to your home and just rest assured that everything will be done. I'm like, whoa, that don't work like that. You just can't just take the sword. He's like, well, here's the thing. Here's my advice to you. Bam, and slap the shit out of her, So there you go. So don't worry. Now go back home and you get out of here. And then that's when, bam, he gets stopped by Supergirl. She's like, you can't do that. And she's just like, you can't just take the sword because you didn't pay for it. You didn't do anything like that. So yeah. So she like, look, I don't want to fight you. Just give me the sword. I'm giving it back to her. You go home because I'm here trying to celebrate my birthday. And she's like, who the hell are you, woman, wench? And she was like, you better pray to your gods because you're about to beat them, And she was like, wait, don't do it just yet. She's trying to stab him. She's like, and then she copes of the coat and she's like, wait, don't stop. Just give me a second. You're like, oh, good. You don't want to meet your ancestors today? She's like, nah, it's not that. I don't want to spill it in my drink, because it's my birthday and this shit is expensive and I ran out of money. So let me drink my drink first and then we'll get into it. She's like, okay, good. I'm done. Now, just let you know, this is probably going to hurt for you. And she takes the bottle, bam, smash him in the head and shit like that, And then she realized she gets cut and she's like, oh, I forgot I was on a red planet, a red sun or whatever like that, So now she's like dodging, weaving, and I will not be bested by a woman. And that's, you get this iconic panel right here, and then crypto barking in the dark background, shit like that. So yeah. So now Kara wakes up the next day over her hangover. She's, being just like that in Ruthie's house and shit. And she's like, damn, I didn't want you to know that I was Supergirl. And Ruth's like, I don't know what a Supergirl is, but okay. Yeah. But anyway, since I went after the biggest, baddest motherfucker to kill Krem, and you just beat the biggest, baddest motherfucker, I'm going to offer you the deal that I was going to offer him. If you kill Krem, I'll give you this sword and you can have it. And she looks at him and she's like, she's still hungover and shit like that. So yeah, she's like, you know what? I'll give you time to think about it. So like that. So while they're going back, she's like, look, please.
See, look at that. Look at
it's that. Awesome panel. Here's the thing. There's an Easter egg in the movie that one of the planets they visit was named after this artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Planet Bilquis, whatever like that is okay. After this artist. So yeah.
Well, look at like the water is. That's just the select tool on fucking Photoshop and changing it.
They don't want to use it. That's the thing.
Changing the color of the water, man.
That's all you got to do. So yeah, but it looks like it's lively, it has life to it and stuff like that. So yeah, but I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. So yeah. And she's just like, she's telling her, I don't need a sword, Ruthie. If you knew who I am, you would see why I don't need a sword. Like, but everybody needs a sword. Like, come on. My dad killed a monogriff with his sword. A monogriff. Do you know what that is? Like, no, I don't. So she's just like, look, I'm not an assassin. I'm for hire or anything like that. I got to go back to my planet. And you have a good life and don't kill anybody. That's killing is bad. So yeah. So Ruth is just like, okay, Supergirl's about to leave. She realized if she goes after Krem by herself, Krem is going to kill her and probably forget she ever existed. So she decides to swim after Supergirl. She's like, yeah, swim after. And she's like, swim, making sure that she got eaten by anything in the water and shit like that. And when she gets there, she's just like firing up her ship. And Supergirl's just like, Ruthie, what are you doing? You got to get the hell out of here because the ship is already turned on. If you get out here, it's going to do a kickback and it's going to blow you away. It's going to really hurt you. She's like, no, I can't leave until you kill Krem for me. They're like, no, I'm not a killer. I don't do anything like that. Look, I understand you're grieving right now, but I mean, you got to get over it. You got to move on with your life. You're like, how am I going to move on with my life? He killed my father. He took my world from me. What do you know about your world getting taken from you?
Oh, damn. Man.
Yeah. See, she don't know anything about Supergirl. So when she said that, she triggered her. She like, all right. She's like, oh, damn, I was trying to not do this, but now you triggered me. I can't leave you by this. Says, okay, so what do we need to work out? Before she can finish the sentence, bam, she gets stabbed in the chest by Arrow. By who? Krem of the Yellow Hills. So Black Conan did find Krem of the Yellow Hills afterwards, after he got his ass kicked by Supergirl. And he was like, yeah, they sent an assassin after you. So he was like, okay. So he paid Black Conan to find whoever the assassin was coming after him so he can kill them first. So yeah. And now he's like, let me kill that girl too. Crypto sees what's going on. Crypto runs after Krem, and you know what happens then? Bam! Crypto gets hit too. Crypto forgot that he was on the Red Sun planet. so Crypto gonna take it out. Crypto, and she was like, and he was like, wait, I thought I killed this chick. Was she getting up? Like, oh well, another arrow that'll take her out. And she stands up and she's pissed. Like, you think you're gonna fucking kill me with arrows? And she's getting stabbed while walking towards him. Like, she don't even give a damn. She was like, whoever the fuck this is, I'm gonna, find out who this is. So she's going, and then Black Conan gets the sword, and he's like, I'm Supergirl. You think I give a fuck about swords and arrows? And she grabs the sword by the blade, takes it out of his hand, and beats him with it with the hilt. Knocks him out. And then still running at Krem. Krem like, okay, you just took him out. You coming after me. I don't know who the fuck you are, what the fuck you are. So he takes off running. Now, Supergirl, the only reason she don't run after him because she hears Crypto whimpering and shit like that. She's like, don't worry, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And Ruthie is going after Krem. Bam, he just kicks the shit out of her, just moves on. He didn't even know she was there. He wasn't even paying attention to her. So runs into Supergirl's ship, but the ship was already fired up. So as soon as he got in there, the ship just took off. So now he just shot Crypto and took the ship and everything like that. Meanwhile, Supergirl and Ruthie gets blown away while Crypto and Supergirl are unconscious with arrows stuck in them. To be continued.
Look at that panel.
Awesome panel, man.
Splash.
So, yes, and honestly, Eli, what you're criticizing the book for, I've seen that criticism also, that the artwork on this one doesn't translate to the screen. A lot of people are saying that Tom Screen writing in the story is kind of whatever. The art carries the book.
I can see, like every panel's got word, like, he's a lot of
Tom
writers.
King. I fast forward all that shit. So
overwritten, not letting the art speak for itself.
Prose and stuff like that. But am I agreeing with everybody saying that the art carried the book? Yeah, it's comics. It's a visual medium. The 90% of the books, the art carries the book. That's what it is. So So if you want to say the art carries that graphic novel, I agree with you on that one, because the story is very simple. I mean, it's the same thing. They shot a dog. She chased after the guy all over the galaxy. That's what the story is. So So
man, they could have did hue and saturation, man. The settings in fucking Photoshop. Hue and color correction.
But like I said, if they would have did that, they would have spent more money in this movie, and they're not trying to do that.
I got Photoshop on my laptop.
They should let you edit it. So executive producer Eli be $1 billion. So so that's all I got. I just want to put that in there. So, but even from that book alone, you can see what they kept and what they didn't keep, and what they changed, what they didn't change. You know everything you need to know just in that first issue.
Yeah.
So at least I hope you do. But anything else you got, or?
Oh no, I'm booked out. I did read. What else did I read? I did Absolute Superman was pretty dope.
Okay, we fighting like Shazam and
Shazam. It was like Superman, Hawkman, Steel, and versus
Steel is still a good guy or bad guy in
he's
this.
He's a good guy.
Okay.
He showed up with the hammer, and they all trying to whoop fucking. They were fighting Black Adam.
Okay.
And actually, Hawkman and John Henry Irons were fighting.
Hold up, is Hawkman a good guy or bad guy in this universe?
Hawkman's like, didn't he kill?
Yeah.
Queen?
Yeah.
he kind of works for whoever. He's kind of an asshole.
Okay. All right.
You know, he was supposed to kill Superman, but then he's like, I kind of like Superman now because he's not an asshole. Like, but he knows who Black Adam is. He's like, we gotta kill Black Adam. But Superman's like, no, you can't fucking kill him. We're not killing him. He's like, you know what that
did they say that Hawkman and Black Adam got like centuries of history and stuff or like that?
Yeah, well, yeah, because Hawkman uncovered Black Adam. And then,
like back in ancient Egypt and all that stuff like that?
Yeah, well, no, back in like the 40s or something, whenever he uncovered them.
And they went back to the 40s. Okay.
Yeah, or whenever it was.
I thought they were going to have like Prince
when they were
Khufu
opening up the pyramids and shit. And then
that's too much lore. That's too much lore, but okay.
Yeah, and then fucking Hawkman or Ra's al Ghul had Black Adam like buried in his facility in the, what do they call it again? That the Lazarus Corporation facility. Yeah. And now he got released. But anyways, Hawkman and Steel are basically fighting Black Adam and causing like disasters all over the planet. And Superman's going and saving everybody. Like, because every time, like, you know, Black Adam like flies around the world, he causes like tornadoes everywhere.
Oh, damn.
You know, or tidal waves and shit. And every time he throws lightnings, you know, giant explosions occur, and Superman's just flying around, you know, damage control.
So just making sure you're saying there's no absolute Billy Batson.
Not yet. No, this is Adam. 10th Adam or whatever. Test Adam or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. It was just a lot of action and ass whipping and shit. Told in Hawkman's perspective. So that might have been my book. I don't know why I didn't read it. That would have been my book.
I guess we did too much Superman, I guess. I don't know.
And then Absolute Wonder Woman is still going strong. That was cool. I read something else. Detective. Moonstar, because I had to. What else did I read? Oh, Infernal Hulk. Okay. That's going to be an event, I guess, right? They're going to do some kind of event with Infernal Hulk.
I think I heard that. I wasn't 100% sure, but okay.
I think it's going to be like an event, like one of the Marvel events, summer blockbuster, which would fit, you know. So
don't Chip Zdarsky got something going on with Red Hulk? So you tell me they got something on with green, purple-ish?
Well, this is Infernal's Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Okay.
Writing Infernal Hulk. So
I'm just saying, like, too many Hulks fighting at one time. I mean, you can, you know, spread it out a little bit, you know.
Yeah. This is all horror, though. This is horror, so it's kaiju. That's the thing. It's like, I remember we were talking about the Marvel movies, me and my brother and shit, and we're talking about the Ed Norton Hulk, the Incredible Hulk movie and shit. Yeah. And we're talking about, we didn't mind it that much, you know. And I think the reason why is because, like, the fight between him and Abomination felt like a kaiju fight, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like, that's what we said back then.
But that was the point. It was supposed to be like that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's what we said back then. And we thought it was pretty cool because it was like a Godzilla movie at the end.
Right.
So it was just funny that I was thinking about that, reading Infernal Hulk this week. Like this is going to be a summer blockbuster, a comic event, and it's just going to be giant monsters fighting. Yeah,
I mean, the old school Hulk comics, that's what they were.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much all the books I read.
Cool. Eli, I think we got enough show.
Yeah, that's not as long as bad as it was. I thought we were gonna go.
No, I think we about as what it was. We did what we needed to do on it. I feel like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you listen this long, different like, share, subscribe. Hell, if you listen this long, that means we are in your algorithm. You want to keep us in your algorithm, like, share, subscribe. So yeah. Next week we'll come up with something else. Eli, I'm really, really thinking about getting that James Bond game.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what we'll do. Until then, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same Bully time, same Bully channel.